Republican Senator Ted Cruz has been one of the most vocal supporters of term limits for members of the House and Senate. It is actually one of the only issues where I actually agree with Ted Cruz on anything. In fact, I've done videos over at Ring of Fire actually praising Ted Cruz for this one thing that he is, in my opinion, 100% correct about. We need term limits for members of Congress. Ted Cruz has, of course, offered a constitutional amendment in the past to implement these term limits. So he was asked this past weekend on Face the Nation, how can you say you support term limits when you yourself are running for a third term? Because according to Cruz's amendment that he has proposed, senators would be limited to 2 term limits. So he was asked, why are you not leading by example and bowing out of office after 2 terms? Here's what Cruz said. He said he's a, quote, passionate defender of term limits. Congress would work much better with term limits. And then he said, I've never said I'm going to unilaterally comply. So term limits for thee, but not for me, Chris? Is that, or Ted, excuse me, is that how that works? Like, I mean, can you do that? You know, are you going to actually try to get an amendment passed that says everybody but Ted Cruz has to abide by term limits? I don't think so. And listen, I know a lot of people are thinking like, but Farron, we don't have the term limit amendment, so he doesn't have to do it because it's not a thing. Plus, he can't even pass it if he's not in the Senate. Yeah, he's not going to pass it anyway, okay? But if this guy thinks the problem with American politics is that people stay there too long, then shouldn't we hold him to his own standard? I mean, that's what we're talking about here. It's like, okay, picture it this way. If murder was legal, like you were legally allowed to go out there, just boom, do whatever, but we all knew it was morally wrong. And then Ted Cruz came out and he said, listen, I want a constitutional amendment. I want murder to be illegal. That'd be great, right? But then he says, but in the meantime, I'm still going to keep killing people because it's legal. I don't have to unilaterally comply. Yeah, but you lose the high ground when you refuse to abide by the same standards that you're trying to put in place for everybody else. Ted Cruz, like so many others in American politics, is just a hypocrite. That's what it is. He knows he'll never get his little amendment passed. I wish he would. I'll fight side by side with you, Ted, to get this thing passed. I will do that if you call upon me to do it. I won't agree with you on anything else, but I'll do that because I believe in it. But you know it's not going to pass. You also know that you can gain the support of the people who think you do have a chance at passing it. So that's why you're pushing it. It's not because you actually want it, I think. It's because you know the people want it, because they do overwhelmingly support such an amendment, and you think you can get them on your side without ever having to actually do anything. You could propose, you could help plan constitutional conventions across the country to get this thing happening. We could get the states involved, 3/4 of them, boom, we could make this a reality. But you're not doing it because deep down, you don't want to amend yourself out of a job. Hi, everyone. This here is little Athena. And Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet. So please, don't let Athena down. Subscribe today.